All right, now watch how when I turn him toward the fence, see how it forces him to turn on his haunch, okay? So now what I'm going to do at a walk is I'm going to turn him toward the fence, not too close to the fence. And you see that turn? I was probably in the road, okay? We'll do it again. So you want to stay away from the fence a little bit. Don't make it too tough on him. There, see how he stepped over and turned around on his hindquarters. So now what we're going to do is we're teaching him to turn while in the bridle, okay? And basically what I'm doing here is I'm riding this horse without being on his back. So a lot of this stuff is what you would normally school a horse with on his back. But what I found is you can't find many riders that know how to do this on their back. So this is just something that I've developed a way to do this. Every horse that I own is going to go through this and going to learn this. This takes a lot of the work out of it when you start your mounted work. So now we're going to trot. But I want you to see those strings. See those strings, how they're loose? He's finding his own release. That's so important. Okay. So see, he stiffens his neck up and then he says, well, I better soften up because I got a little pressure in my mouth. See there? Very good. It's a good boy. Now, normally what happens when we go to a canter, that horse is going to raise his head and he's going to really pull against that bit because that's what he's used to doing, because he's used to some cowbelly on his back, holding on to those reins like a handlebar, trying to stay on his back while he's cantering, and the rider's out of balance and holding on to those reins as a brace. So what we have to do is riders become responsible cargo, and we have to distribute our weight and our balance on that horse's back, but we don't use those reins as a way to stay on. We don't use our hands for balance, okay? We use our feet and our seat and our legs. So let's see what happens here. Now I'm going to ask him to canter. We'll see what happens. Okay, very good. Now as we go along, see how those strings are loose. He's not pulling against the strings. Now I could adjust him a little tighter yet and even get him in more collection, but I'm not worried about that right now. What I'm worried about is I want him to transition from a trot to a canter without tossing that head up and without putting pressure against those strings. So when we do him mounted, get on his back, see? We're going to ride him just like that. Just like that. Isn't that nice? You know, there's a horse I want to ride. That's all right. See? Everybody wants to ride a horse like that. Now I can tighten those strings and bring him into more collection, and I will do that. But you want to start out with it a little loose. You know, we've got to, like everything else we do, we've got to take things in steps and be gradual. Because if we're too rigid with this, I'll get him to where he resents it and he doesn't do it willingly.